Welcome to today's explainer. Let's talk about something we all know, unfortunately, incredibly well: physical pain. I mean, it feels immediate, doesn't it? Sharp, undeniable, and completely real. Whether you're stubbing your toe on that one piece of furniture that's always in the way, or accidentally touching a hot pan, the experience feels incredibly direct.
Okay, let's dive into this because I think most of us just assume pain works exactly like a simple mechanical alarm system in a house. You know the drill, you damage the tissue in your body, the nerves detect it, they send a signal right up the wire to your brain, and boom, you react. But is pain really just a physical alarm? Well, modern neuroscience is revealing that the truth is far more complex, and honestly, it's absolutely fascinating.
Consider this kind of bizarre contradiction for a second. We've all heard those crazy stories of major emergencies, right? Soldiers fighting through severe wounds, athletes finishing a championship game, or accident victims casually walking on broken bones because they simply fail to notice the injury. The high adrenaline temporarily completely mutes the pain. But then, on the flip side, a minor everyday paper cut or a tiny scraped knee can feel utterly unbearable in the moment. So why the huge disconnect?
Section 1. The twist. Pain does not equal damage.
I absolutely love this quote because it really reorients our entire perspective. Pain is closer to a protective prediction than a raw physical signal. You see, pain is actually not a perfect one-to-one measurement of tissue damage. It's just not. Instead, it's an active interpretation by your nervous system asking one really simple question: just how serious is this threat to our survival? If your survival requires immediate action, like, say, running from a burning building, your brain can completely suppress pain temporarily. It decides what deserves pain, because in an emergency, survival takes absolute priority over your suffering. The injury is literally still there, but your perception is temporarily rewritten.
Section 2. The mechanics of perception.
If pain isn't just about physical tissue damage, what exactly is building the feeling? Well, it turns out your brain is taking raw psychological materials, things like fear, context, deep emotion, and expectation, and weaving them all together. And this brilliantly illustrates the vicious cycle they create. Think of it like this. Step 1, you expect danger. Step 2, because of that expectation, your attention narrows sharply right toward your body. Step 3, your nervous system sensitivity dramatically rises. And finally, step 4, that fear actively increases the pain signals. The pain increases the fear, and the loop just tightens. This proves why two different people with the exact same physical injury can experience vastly different levels of real physical suffering.
Where you point your attention is a huge factor here. Notice how shifting your awareness away from an injury actually acts like a volume dial turning down the suffering. This is exactly why distracting a crying child works absolute miracles, or why those competing athletes can just ignore injuries. Conversely, if you put intense, laser-like focus on your discomfort, or if you're in a state of emotional shock, well, that volume gets cranked all the way up. The brain is the ultimate judge of which signals get priority in your consciousness.
Section 3. The proof: placebo and chronic pain.
So how do we know for sure the brain has this much control? Well, we have two undeniable pieces of evidence demonstrating that the brain can essentially create or erase pain entirely independently of a new physical injury. This completely redefines the placebo effect. Now, what's really interesting about this is that a lot of people think a placebo means the pain was just fake or imaginary to begin with. That is entirely incorrect. A placebo produces a genuine, very real pain reduction, and it is triggered entirely by the patient's profound belief that relief is coming, even if the treatment has zero active medical ingredients. We know it's real because of the measurable biological changes we can see right on modern brain scans. When a person genuinely believes they're getting a painkiller, their expectation alone triggers natural endorphin release. It physically reduces pain signaling in the spine, dramatically calms the nervous system, and causes visible changes in brain activity. Expectation alone directly alters their bodily experience. Literally, belief changes perception. But, of course, the brain's power has a bit of a darker side. What happens when pain outlasts the injury? This is the tragic reality for millions of people experiencing chronic pain. And untangling this is honestly one of the most important discoveries in modern pain neuroscience.
Here's the reality of chronic conditions. Often, the original physical damage has completely healed. The tissue is totally fine, but the nervous system remains stuck in this hypersensitive state. The brain continues to interpret ordinary, everyday sensations as severe, threatening attacks. The suffering they feel is incredibly real, for sure, even when medical scans show absolutely zero physical injury. The brain has simply learned the danger a bit too strongly, causing those pain pathways to become aggressively overprotective.
Section 4. Merging mind and body. Because pain activates the emotional regions of the brain right alongside the sensory systems, the mind and body are deeply, deeply interconnected. Emotional distress actually directly worsens physical pain, while experiencing emotional safety can chemically reduce it. I mean, have you ever noticed that waiting for a shot at the doctor's office is sometimes so much worse than the needle itself? Anticipation worsens the reality. Your brain's predictive system is constantly preparing for danger based on past memories. So if you're experiencing medical anxiety or you fully expect something to hurt, your brain actually heightens the perception of pain before the event even arrives. It basically preloads the suffering. Think of your brain as a master chef. First, it gathers the inputs: physical sensory data, your current context, and your emotional state. Then it runs those inputs through cognitive filters: your immediate survival priorities, your expectations, and where your attention is focused. So the crucial point is that modern neuroscience views pain as a constructed experience, generated only after combining all of these ingredients together. Which really leaves us with this powerful truth. The body sends signals, but the brain writes the final experience. Right now, your brain is acting as an active survival simulator, constantly deciding what matters, what's dangerous, and what deserves suffering. Pain isn't just some external invader, it's an incredibly advanced internal interpretation. And knowing that your consciousness has the power to profoundly rewrite your physical reality leaves us with a fascinating thought to take away. If our minds possess the biological power to construct our deepest suffering, what untapped, extraordinary power do we possess to construct our own healing? Thank you for exploring this with me today, and keep questioning how you see the world.